Despite Battlefield 2042 having a rough start and almost turning it around, a lot of people haven't really enjoyed the new Battlefield experience. With me and many others, and maybe also you watching the video, have been wondering, I wonder what the next Battlefield game will be. With it already being confirmed that Ridgeline Games is going to be focusing on a narrative campaign set in the Battlefield universe, which is being led by Halo co-creator Marcus Leto, it doesn't really mention anything about a multiplayer. And with the recent installments of Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, the multiplayer and also campaign haven't really been that successful. From the maps being too massive, the gunplay and time to kill constantly changing, it's been frustrating a lot of players. Now, even though their trailers and marketing have been in point, at least for 2042, Battlefield 5, well, not so much. It hasn't really paid off for them. And you can see this with the most recent success at Battlefield 1, which is currently the most played Battlefield on Steam right now, of course due to a sale, and it may be even a game that you've played or bought in the last couple of days, and if you have, let me know if you're enjoying it down in the comments. But that seems to be always the problem with Battlefield. Players always seem to go back to the older titles and never actually play the new ones. It's happened with 2042 and it happened with Battlefield 5. Now, just like me, you're probably wondering what actually makes a Battlefield game. Now, I wanted to discuss with you, both in the comments and on the video, what actually does make Battlefield good. Now, I think the number one thing is maps, and I guess you could say atmosphere. Now, I know Battlefield 1 was a perfect example of this, and something similar both in a campaign and a multiplayer setting would be perfect. Now, I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel like that combination, along with a Battlefield 5 release gunplay, not the current state of gunplay, but the gunplay that was at the release of Battlefield 5, would be a perfect combination, at least for me. Just the feeling of the guns, recoil and the maps would work almost perfectly. Now, a topic that's been a talking point along many FPS games, and that's movement. Should it be arcadey? Should it be realistic? Should you be able to slide, prone, fly in the air? Who knows? Let me know. Now, I think Battlefield 5 movement with a little bit of air strafing from Battlefield 4 for me would be perfect, though you probably could take out the air strafing. You could add in a tactical sprint from 2042, just so you're able to traverse the map a little easier. But I think overall, Battlefield 5's movement with the animations they had, minus the back prone, which shouldn't exist, I think would work well with the Battlefield 1 map atmosphere and the BF5 gunplay, but that's just my opinion. Now to a staple, and something that makes Battlefield, and maybe something that you've played in over thousands of hours, and that is vehicles. Now personally, I think if you take the vehicle model from BF3, BF4, that I'm not 100% an expert on, I feel like that would work the best. They have the most skill, they take time to learn. Back in the days when maybe me, and also maybe you, would go into a private server just to learn how to fly a heli. Those days have kind of gone from Battlefield, and any old little Timmy could jump in a heli and fly across the map. So I think those BF3, BF4 mechanics would work almost perfectly in the next BF game. But while writing and recording this video, it finally hit me, and it's something that you've probably noticed over the last Battlefields, and that is the lack of content. This is something that's made it hard to play something like Battlefield 5 and 2042, is the lack of new weapons and new maps and just new anything. Now, I think we should go back to the premium model. I know it does split the player base, but you are a little bit more guaranteed with actual content. While I don't know if this is what some people agree with, let me know what you think. Should it be a live service model that DICE constantly screw up, or should we go back to the old days at Battlefield Premium? Now, after hearing all those points from gunplay to movement to maps to vehicles and to future content, what do you think the next Battlefield game should be, and what do you think makes a good Battlefield game? Now, if you want to go on a trip down memory and nostalgia lane, then the video on screen now is definitely one you should watch.